He bought a brand new imported car worth $50,000 under his girlfriend's name. The guy who financed his partner's cousin's new bar because he wanted to keep it all in the family. Forging at least 6 fake DNA tests. If your first thought is, why would someone like her go for someone like me? That is your gut telling you to look closer. That's not just a red flag. That's a big red billboard screaming, you're about to get screwed. And never underestimate the willpower of a Vietnamese woman. Stop funneling money into your partner's account after the second date. It can get messy. We are giving you the family-friendly version, but it's much more explicit than that. Sometimes you collect so many red flags, it looks like a General Assembly of the Communist Party. If that's not a costly lesson, I don't know what is. Especially if you think that hopping on a plane just magically erases everything. So am I saying never date in Vietnam? Of course, understanding some of these will help you avoid possible scams. You can end up starring in your own courtroom drama. 18,000. That's how many international marriages are registered in Vietnam each year. This is what we call transnational marriages. And of these, 95% are between foreign men and Vietnamese women. And of course, they don't always end with happy endings. Because love in Vietnam is not all sunshine and bánh mì. Sometimes you collect so many red flags, it looks like a General Assembly of the Communist Party. Today's story is for every foreigner living in Vietnam who needs a wake-up call. The kind of story that makes you think twice about tossing your heart and your bank account into the ring. Believe me, after hearing this story, from a stolen car to the bank coming after you, you'll want to keep your eyes open wider than a motorbike driver navigating overcrowded streets. So let's get started. Let's start a story with one of our clients. Let's call him Mr. Alfredo, 50 plus years old, just came to Vietnam on a 90-day e-visa for tourism purposes. After just a few weeks, he met a stunning 25-year-old Vietnamese woman who, by his starry-eyed account, looks like she just came off a movie set. He described himself as just an average Joe, so you can imagine the shock when this stunner of a lady came up and locked eyes with him. Age difference aside, the speed of this rapid romance was his big wake-up call that he chose to ignore. The first major red flag. Big age gaps can be just fine if both of the people are on the same page. If your first thought is, why would someone like her go for someone like me? That is your gut telling you to look closer. Stop acting like a starstruck teenager and start asking questions. Are her intentions like yours? Is she looking for real commitment? Or just looking for an ATM on legs? If that's not a first red flag, then seeing a tattoo on her rear end that says, I'm yours. Of course, we are giving you the family-friendly version, but it's much more explicit than that. You might miss that red flag on the first night, but you'll definitely notice on the next day, or the weeks after as well. I am here at the New World Hotel in District 1. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Ken Duong, international business immigration attorney with over 16 years of experience helping people relocate, live, work, and invest in Vietnam. And of course, getting married and divorced as well. Having lived in Vietnam for over 12 years, I've seen a lot of success stories, but also heart-wrenching relationship meltdowns. I'm sharing this story today because I see every week walking into my office distraught clients who have relationship problems. There's a clear pattern, and I want you to know so you don't get hit blindsided by some of these matters. Most of our clients are men, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't happen to foreign women as well. I'm here so that you can walk away with your house keys and not the heartbreak hotel bill. So the tattoo and the massive age gap were not enough red flags for Alfredo. Within weeks, they moved in together. Mr. Alfredo paid for all the expenses, housing, rent, food, and also entertainment as well. He rationed, because I'm older, I should take care of her. Next thing you know, he is financing and supporting 2, maybe 3 or 4 people with no conversation of splitting the bills ever. That's the second red flag. Sure, you can argue cultural differences, but financial dependency of this scale is definitely trouble brewing. In Vietnam, like anywhere else, cohabitation with zero discussions of shared expenses is a big neon red sign. But let's be real, this kind of arrangement can happen anywhere in the world. But in Vietnam, where cultural and financial expectations may differ from yours, you better double check who is actually benefiting in this arrangement. But wait, there's more, much more. So Mr. Alfredo decided to buy his own car. No big deal, right? But he was still on his 90-day tourist e-visa. And in Vietnam, foreigners who only have a tourist visa or a 5-year visa exemption are not allowed to own a car and have the name in their title. So what did Alfredo decide to do? He bought a brand new imported car worth $50,000 under his girlfriend's name. It was really intended for his use because she didn't even have a driver's license. By the way, if you want to know more about driving in Vietnam, click on the right-hand corner. We made a video that talks about anything from driver's license to import taxes. And to add insult to injury, the car costs double what it would in the United States because the Vietnam import taxes are no joke. Also, you have to deposit 30%, which is about $300 million or about $15,000 just to get the car out the lot. Many of you are crying over unfair reciprocal taxes, but that is a rant for another day. So who was making the monthly payments? You guessed it, Alfredo would transfer money into her personal bank account every month so she can pay directly to the bank. You don't need me to tell you what kind of Pandora's box is opening. That's not just a red flag. That's a big red billboard screaming, you're about to get screwed. No formal agreement or contract. If you are trusting your brand new partner with an asset over $50,000 under her name on your behalf with zero paperwork, then you might as well drop your wallet in the streets and hope it comes back. In Vietnam, like most places, if it's not on paper, then it's really just a handshake on a roller coaster. Quick intermission. 80% of you are not subscribed to this channel, which is like dating someone for 2 years and not even exchanging phone numbers. If you find this information useful or entertaining, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. We've got plenty more of these eye-opening stories, and believe me, you don't want to miss them. Because if you think that buying a car in your girlfriend's name is crazy, wait till you hear about the guy who financed his partner's cousin's new bar because he wanted to keep it all in the family. I wish I could tell you they lived happily ever after, but you can probably see a mile away what is going to happen. The relationship went sour. Alfredo wanted to leave the relationship and keep his car, which was legally in her name, but she claimed it was her car. Turns out his ex got none of it and decided to call the police and report the car stolen. Mr. Alfredo was able to produce monthly statements, payment slips, and bank statements as well. Pretty much everything short of a novel explaining why and how he shelled out all the dough. Seeing no criminal wrongdoing, the police left. But this doesn't mean that the drama is over. She threatened the bank to come after him. But guess what? Her name is on the title. She's the one on the legal hook. So basically, she's legally more bark than bite. Because of this stalemate, Alfredo came to us to resolve this disaster and negotiate. Ultimately, we found a third party that paid off the loan and got the registration out of her name. Finally, we got Mr. Alfredo his immigration status and his temporary residence card so that he can re-register the car in his name. If that's not a costly lesson, I don't know what is. If you think Mr. Alfredo's story is crazy, think again. We've handled a case of a fake paternity test where a woman received multiple streams of child support and alimony from many unsuspecting men, forging at least 6 fake DNA tests. We made a video about that, so click on the right-hand corner to hear all about that story and how to avoid it. And the scariest, we've handled situations where foreign spouses were slowly poisoned in order to get life insurance policies. You know, the kind of poison that is undetectable. But let's be real, these situations don't happen all the time. However, when they do, they could be really terrifying. So I know what some of you might be thinking or saying. If it's so bad, why don't you just leave the relationship, go back to your country, and pretend like it never happened? Well, let's talk about that. If you are legally married in Vietnam or you started the partial paperwork, then your absence can allow the other spouse to file for divorce or take legal action against you unilaterally. She can claim that you concealed the Vietnam marriage in order to avoid financial responsibilities. Also, she can even take it a step further and hire a local Vietnamese attorney to file a divorce in your home jurisdiction, if she was really motivated. Trust me, it can get messy, especially if you think that hopping on a plane just magically erases everything. Ghosting is a terrible strategy. Yes, it's tempting. Nobody wants to deal with all this drama, but burying your head in the sand does not make the laws disappear. Remember that 18,000 figure? That's the number of transnational marriages each year in Vietnam. Many are successful love stories, but others are ticking time bombs. Do you want to take that gamble? Because if you are, then you want to make sure you want to take some basic steps in order to protect yourself. 1. Having a prenuptial agreement. If you are a foreigner with assets, why risk losing half or even more? Make it official and legal under Vietnamese law. Or 2. A postnuptial. It's similar to a prenuptial, but it is a postnuptial, which means you sign it after the marriage. Yes, these can be legally enforced in Vietnam if done correctly. 3. Register your marriage properly. Don't just wave around your marriage certificate and think that it's done properly. In Vietnam, there's a requirement for civil registration that is put into the system. This official registration records help in real estate transactions and many other legal matters that will help protect your rights in Vietnam. Number 4, understand the land laws. Land ownership is restricted for foreigners. You need to understand the new land laws of what you can and cannot do. The land law of 2024 does not allow a foreigner to inherit land use rights. If a land is left to a foreign heir, even a spouse, then they are only allowed to sell, donate, or transfer the land to someone that can have the land use right certificates, which is typically a Vietnamese citizen or a Vietnamese entity. But foreigners can inherit apartments and houses thanks to the housing law of 2023. Number 5, document everything. Looking to purchase a house with your Vietnamese spouse, but you cannot be on title? Nominee agreements, power of attorneys, and co-ownership structures. These can safeguard your investment, even though your name cannot be on the title. Let's keep it 100% real. Vietnam is home to thousands of successful and loving marriages. Many foreigners find their life partners and build awesome families here. So am I saying never date in Vietnam? Of course not. All I'm saying is wake up, do your homework, and protect your neck. Think of it like crossing the street in Saigon. You need a little bit of bravery and caution. No one's saying that you should stop looking for romance or partnerships here. Just look left, right, and left again before you step off the curb, both in traffic and in love. If you do end up in Splitsville, consider divorcing in Vietnam for clarity, especially if you own property. Trying to handle the divorce from your home country can be an even bigger headache, and your ex might have filed something here first. Legal clarity. Vietnamese courts are in the best position to handle Vietnamese properties. Avoiding surprise lawsuits. Walking away in the sunset, your ex could still file a lawsuit against you in your home country. So you're actually better off to file the lawsuit here, walk the fire, and be able to get a judgment that is legally enforceable. If you're new to Vietnam and looking to step into Vietnam's love minefield, here's a mini checklist for you. Upgrade your visa. Your tourist visa is a flimsy legal status, especially if you're gonna stay long-term or make big purchases. Go for your temporary residence card, your investor visa, or a work permit so that you have a lot more legal backing. Consult an attorney. Not just me, although we will be thrilled to help you, but an attorney that speaks English and Vietnamese fluently, understands the cultures of the US and Vietnam, also having license in the United States and Vietnam that can assist you both legally and culturally. Separate bank accounts. Stop funneling money into your partner's account after the second date. That is a formula for tragedies. Research cultural norms. family obligations, bride price traditions, and the role of extended family. This may differ wildly from your Western expectations. Understanding some of these will help you avoid some of the awkward discussions and possible scams. Be wary of quick commitments. If she's pushing you to buy property or sign deals after a few weeks, just step back. Urgency is the #1 tactic when people are trying to take advantage of you. Consider that a neon flashing red sign. So can you find love in Vietnam? Absolutely. But let's keep it real. You're navigating a foreign landscape linguistically, culturally, and legally. If you're not careful, you can end up starring in your own courtroom drama. Take Mr. Alfredo's story as a blunt wake-up call. Don't buy big ticket items that you can't legally own. Don't ignore your gut instincts that says something's off. And for the love of all things holy, do not think that you can ghost all your problems away by just hopping on a plane. And never underestimate the willpower of a Vietnamese woman who knows what she wants. And if you do, you might land and find a lawsuit filed against you in your home country. So if you are considering marriage, property ownership in Vietnam, or any big moves, don't be ashamed. Feel free to contact us. Our team of experts have helped countless expats and foreigners navigate everything from prenups to real estate deals. Remember, the key to a successful relationship is not just about love, but understanding the law. On behalf of Duong Global, my name is Ken Duong. Thank you very much for watching this video, and we'll see you on the next one.